Welcome, everyone. I am Autumn Shook. I work for the Kansas Department of Agriculture in the Food Safety and Lodging Program. Don't worry, you are in the right place. You've joined our 8th of our monthly webinar series presentations. This one is titled Pet Treat Requirements. So we have asked our partners here within the Department of Agriculture's Feed Safety Program to help us with this month's webinar. I'm going to give you just quick housekeeping points so that you're aware. All of our participant microphones will be muted throughout the webinar. You may submit your questions during the presentation by using the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. We encourage that those questions that you have be typed into the during the presentation as your question comes to mind. The regulatory considerations covered today are only applicable to those operating in Kansas. Today's session will be recorded and posted online. And after this session, you will receive an email with a link to the recording and resource materials mentioned. The email will also contain a link to a survey. Your ideas will be considered for future outreach. Now off to the introduction of our speaker. We have Deborah. She's from the Feed Safety Program speaking today. We will have two others from the feed safety team joining after the presentation to help answer your questions. So let's get started.
Hello, my name is Deborah Gray. I'm the program coordinator for the Dairy and Feed Safety Program at the Kansas Department of Agriculture. Today we are going to be talking about pet treats. I will be spending the next few minutes going over pet treat requirements in the state of Kansas. After the presentation, Ken Bowers, the Dairy and Feed Safety Program Feed Technical Specialist, and Barbara Jean Schleicher, our Label Review Specialist, will be joining me to answer questions you may have. Are you thinking about becoming a pet treat or pet food manufacturer? An increasing number of individuals are entering into the business of making pet treats from their home or from a small business kitchen. In the world of pet treats, there are laws and regulations governing the production of such items. The purpose of the Kansas Commercial Feed Law and corresponding regulations is to provide guidelines and laws concerning the manufacturing and sale of feed and treats for livestock and companion animals, otherwise known as pets. Within the state of Kansas, there are licensing and labeling requirements for the manufacturing and sale of these treats. For the protection of you as a manufacturer, for the safety of the purchaser, and for safety of our pets, it is important that these requirements are met. Now, let's cover the requirements that you will need to meet in order to manufacture and sell pet treats or pet food in the state of Kansas. The first requirement is obtaining a license to manufacture. The Kansas Commercial Feed Law does not require on-site inspections of kitchens or processing facilities being used for a home manufactured pet feed or treat business prior to the sale of your products. However, good manufacturing practices must be followed in the preparation of your products, and our field inspectors may inspect and sample your products at any time, as well as inspect the facility where these products are manufactured. The Kansas Commercial Feeding Stuffs Law specifically states that all manufacturers, importers, jobbers, firms, associations, corporations, or persons that sell, offer, or expose for sale or distribution of commercial feed in Kansas must have a commercial license for each manufacturing facility located in the state. Commercial feed includes feed for livestock, poultry, pets, specialty pets, and customer formula feed regardless of package container, size, or amount. A license is not required of persons only distributing commercial feed products of a Kansas licensee. Out-of-state manufacturers, importers, jobbers, firms, associations, corporations, or persons not having a distribution facility in the state must have a license for that entity's principal office if feed is sold, offered for sale, exposed for sale, or distributed in Kansas. The fee for commercial feeding stuffs license is $10 and must be renewed on or before July 1st annually. This information can also be found on our website at www.agriculture.ks.gov/feed license. The second requirement is the registration of individual products. In addition to the commercial feedstuffs license, each business or individual must register each product that is under 10 pounds before the products are offered for sale. In the case of specialty pet foods or pet foods which are distributed in the state in packages of 10 pounds or less, an annual fee of $25 shall be paid in lieu of the inspection fee. In the case of specialty pet foods which are distributed in the state in packages of 1 pound or less, an annual fee of $15 shall be paid in lieu of the inspection fee. If products are sold in packages over 10 pounds or in bulk, feed manufacturers are required to pay a tonnage fee on feed products and ingredients sold in Kansas. The current fee is 9 cents per ton of feed sold and is reported semi-annually. These fees are used to fund the Kansas Department of Agriculture's Agricultural Commodities Assurance Program. Again, this information can be found on our website at www.agriculture.ks.gov/feed license. The third requirement is an analysis of the product. As mentioned previously, our field inspectors may inspect and sample your product at any time. Any samples collected will be analyzed by the Kansas Department of Agriculture Laboratory to ensure product safety and truth in labeling. Lastly, the fourth requirement is developing a product label that meets specific requirements. The Kansas Commercial Feed Law and the Model Pet Food Regulations of the Association of American Feed Control Officials, also known as AFCO, require each package of food, snacks, or treats for pets, such as dogs and cats, or specialty pets, to have a label printed on or affixed to the package. This includes pet foods and treats produced by home-based business. The minimum information required either on your labels or in a handout available for purchasers includes the following. The name of the product should describe the product being purchased. In the label shown, the product is Amanda's Dog Treats. A purpose statement specifies the name of the pet or specialty pet for which the food is intended, in this case, a dog. The manufacturing information states the company or individual taking responsibility for the product. The company or individual must be registered in the state and their name and address must be listed on the label. Guarantees are required for all feed products. At a minimum, treats should guarantee these 4 nutrients: crude protein, crude fat, crude fiber, and moisture. Guarantees on treats provide the purchaser with information regarding levels of basic nutrients that are being replaced or added to your pet's normal daily diet. Most treats add limited supplemental nutrients and are not complete and balanced. Every pet food treat label must have a section which lists the name of each ingredient, in order of predominance by weight used in the manufacture of the product. Directions for use should provide basic information on how to feed the product safely. Feeding directions are not required if the principal display panel or the front of the label states snack, treat, or supplement. If not one of the above is listed, the label must state, "This product is intended for intermittent or supplemental feeding only." Each package, container, or bulk lot must contain an accurate statement of net quantity. The statement's terms of weight or measurement must be expressed in ounces and/or pounds units and must include the appropriate metric unit, such as 1 pound equal to 0.45 kilograms or 1 gallon being equal to 3.78 liters. The count can be included in addition to the net weight but not in place of. For example, on this package, it could also state that it contains 3 treats. Shown here is the helpful information sheet, "What does the label on your pet food product tell you?" This resource can be found on the Kansas Department of Agriculture Dairy and Feed Safety Program's website at www.agriculture.ks.gov/feed under Animal and Pet Food Resources. As you have heard, activities that assist in ensuring the protection of consumers and animals include product registration, label review, and sampling of commercial feeds. These activities include cooperation with the Association of American Feed Control Officials, again also known as AFCO, and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, also known as FDA, ensuring that commercial feed that is sold in Kansas is wholesome and truth in labeling as outlined on the labels and guarantees for commercial feed. Additional resources that you may find helpful in your pet food journey include the following. AFCO Talks Pet Food is a site designed by the Association of American Feed Control Officials to be a practical, plain English tool for answering consumer questions about pet food. Business of Pet Food is a site also designed by the Association of American Feed Control Officials to provide business owners interested in getting involved in the pet food or treat business the basics of pet food requirements and regulations. What's in a Pet Food Label is a video designed by the Pet Food Institute to explain the elements of a pet food label to help pet owners feel confident when selecting food for their dog or cat. We hope you found the information provided today helpful. If you ever have any questions about pet food or treat safety, please feel free to contact us at our office headquarters located in Manhattan, Kansas. We are happy to assist you in operating both safely and successfully. You can also find educational materials and resources on our website to help you with all aspects of feed safety.
Debbie, thank you so much for providing that information. I'm Dana Ladner with the Kansas Department of Agriculture, and I'm in the Compliance and Education and Outreach portion of the Ag Marketing team. And so I'm going to be moderating some questions. And we did have some that came in when you guys registered, and we really appreciate that. So our team could have those ready. But I am going to start off with one that Kaylee put in the chat, well, in the Q&A. With it. And Kaylee, thank you very much for that. And so Barbara Jean, this first question is going to be coming to you. The question is, are treats different, or is treat regulation different from food and chews? So if you could go ahead and answer that one for us. Thank you.
Sure, I'll try. Treats are pet food. Complete and balanced pet food is considered pet food. Chews can be considered pet food as well, but they may be exempt from registration. Pet food, complete and balanced pet food, and pet treats are food, but have different label requirements, such as feeding directions. And could you repeat the question again? I'm sorry.
Nope, that's fine. We were just talking about the difference on regulation, if they're different between food, pet treats, and chews.
Okay, the difference between treats and chews. So treats are food, and chews also can be considered food depending on how they're labeled, but they can be exempt from product registration and pet food labeling if they are labeled as a chew, which would mean that there's no nutritional information on that label. So if it just is a smoked or a flavored pig ear, for example, if there's no nutritional information, no guaranteed analysis put on that label, nothing calling it a treat, no claims such as high protein, it's just a pig ear, that would be considered a chew.
Great, thank you very much. Ken, I'm going to go ahead and send this one to you with it. And so, the question came up from the audio there. Do distributors need a license?
So it depends. Distributors could need a license, just like wholesalers could need a license. If you're selling your own products into the state, then you would need one. If you're selling somebody else's products and those products have already been registered and tonnage has been paid through another company, then you probably would not need the license. So we try to tell people, if you're selling somebody else's products or distributing them into our state, then ask if they are licensed in Kansas. So, and if you have any more questions, you're welcome to reach out after. So.
Great. Okay, we had a follow-up to that in the Q&A, which I really appreciate everybody putting their questions in the Q&A so we can follow along with that. So either Barbara Jean or Ken, here's the next question. So it follows up, Ken, with what you just said. If we acquire treats from another treat company is it acceptable to use their package labeling information without submitting them for analysis in Kansas? So can we use somebody else's label and not have them analyzed here in Kansas?
So yes, if you're selling somebody else's treat and it's labeled, you would not have to have that analyzed in Kansas. I think that was the question, right?
It was. Thank you
Okay.
very much on that. We had one come in through the chat, and so I want to put this in. This is from Susan, and so we'll just take a stab here on the feed safety team. Is the product registration for 10 pounds and under just for pets, or is it for commercial feed as well? So the product registration for 10 pounds and under just for pets or commercial feed as well?
So it's just for pets and specialty pets. So if you're selling something for livestock like cattle or swine, then you would not have to register it under 10 pounds. It's all paid through tonnage fees then. So.
Great. Ken, we're just going to stay with you. And then I've got a question for Debbie that's come in with that. So we talked about analysis. Where can folks that are participating on this call today, and those will be watching in the future, where can they send their treats for analysis in Kansas?
So, so as a regulatory agency, we really can't make an endorsement over one lab over the other. So I tell folks to basically just Google lab analysis for pet food or pet treats, and you'll get a whole list of labs, and you'll have to contact one of them. And you probably need to ask how they want you to send the sample back, how much to send, how much the analysis will cost. And yeah, there's quite a few labs out there. Someplace else you can look would be, you can contact K-State Extension if you're in Kansas, and they do provide assistance with guaranteed analysis. I think we can put that link in the chat. So.
Great. I have a question for Debbie, and then I'll let her put that link in the chat for us. So thanks for that information. And K-State Research and Extension is always a great place to go to start those information inquiries and find out some basic information. So Debbie, a question came in that was submitted during registration. One of the participants want to know, do you need a separate kitchen license by KDA for pet treats?
Right. No, you do not need a separate kitchen license in order to produce a pet treat out of your home.
Great. Sounds good on that. Barbara Jean, I've got a question that came in as well earlier. The question is, what food should be avoided for pets?
It depends. It depends on what type of pet food you're making. If it's a dog treat, you wouldn't want to put in grapes or chocolate. You want to make sure you know what should be avoided for those specific pets. There also are some AAFCO defined pet ingredients that are safe to use for pet food, dog, cat treats, specialty pet foods, or common and usual ingredients such as apples, bananas, things that have been around for a long time and that are known to be safe in pet food. Another way that ingredients can be known to be safe for pet food is if FDA has reviewed those and has considered them GRAS, which is generally recognized as safe ingredients.
Great. Thank you very much for that. Ken, I'm going to throw this next one to you that came in the Q&A. So what are the requirements for pet treats that are not sold in a package? So what do we have for requirements for pet treats that are not sold in a package?
So they're basically, you're going to have the same requirements. They're going to have to be labeled with all the things that the label should say. They're going to have the weight statement on them. There's really no difference. I mean, you're going to have some kind of a container package, and that will have to be labeled. So yeah, I'm not sure what.
Got it.
Else.
No,
They're going to have to be. They're basically going to have to be the same. So
Okay, no problem. And Debbie's done a great job of adding some links into the chat for everybody. So make sure that if there's something of interest to you, that you go ahead and click on those links so you have that information available to you. Debbie, I want to send this next question to you. It's about shipping. So how do you ship different foods and different pet foods? What all is entailed with that?
Yeah, that's a really great question. The best resource basically to answer any questions that would regard shipping requirements would be found in the Sanitary Food Transportation Act of 2005. It basically ensures that the practices are being followed when transporting food or animal feed from a motor vehicle or rail. It also ensures that the food or feed is not being transported under conditions that would not cause adulteration. And it also covers specific measures that can be taken to ensure that food or feed isn't being contaminated during that transportation process. Some examples of that would be basically following certain rules regarding time and temperature during that transportation process. And another example would be separating food or animal feed from non-food items while being transported in the same load. And I have already provided a link to that Sanitary Transportation Act for those who are interested in looking at that.
Got it. The next question that came in, Barbara Jean, in the Q&A is from Patricia on this. And with your specialty with labeling, I'll start with you, and then Ken, if you need to hop in, go ahead. But the question is, so if a bakery has pet treats you can ask for, is the label required? So if there's a big jar sitting on the counter, what are the labeling requirements for that?
Yep, technically, if it's like a bulk jar and has a treats in it, the consumer should be able to ask the person selling those treats for a label. And if I were to go into a pet facility like that, I would almost recommend having those treats on the back of the jar, having a label, so consumers can see what ingredients are in those treats, and even having a copy to hand out when you sell those to consumers.
Great, thank you. Barbara Jean, I'm going to stay with you because you mentioned this answering another question earlier. What happens if someone wants to sell pig ears for dogs? Should these be registered as pet treats? Should pig ears be registered as pet treats?
It depends on how they want to market the treat. If they want to claim that these treats are the best, they have high nutrition value, they're high protein. If they want to have a guaranteed analysis on that product, then yes, they would need to register those pig ears as a treat. But if they want to sell them as a chew, not providing any nutritional value to the dog, just more of an exerciser for a puppy that's teething, things like that, you wouldn't want to put any nutritional claims on the packaging. You could just say smoked pig ear, and with that type of labeling, the pig ear would be exempt from product registration or pet food labeling requirements.
Great, thank you. Ken, I'm going to throw this next one to you. We knew it was probably going to be coming today. So the question is, can you speak about regulations concerning pet treats that contain CBD?
So sure. So basically, any pet treats that contain CBD or hemp are unapproved. So hemp and CBD are still considered unapproved ingredients in pet food and pet treats. The industry and the regulatory, like FDA, they're working towards getting hemp approved, but it isn't approved yet. So neither are approved in pet treats as of yet.
Okay, thank you very much on that. So people just need to stay tuned here, check back every few months, 6 months to a year, whatever we're on. But I know that there's ongoing research. So it takes a little while to get that through, and most scientific experiments need at least 3 years of research before the FDA will go forth. So we know that those research activities are going on. So that's a step in the right direction. We had a comment come in on chat that some folks weren't being able to see the links that are provided, those will go out with an email to you that lets you know on the recording that's available, so you can either watch again or share with your colleagues on it. And we will also post those on the KDA website for that. So if you're not seeing them, we'll go ahead and get those posted just as soon as the video is ready as well. Here we go, guys, on some more labeling questions. So Ken, Barbara Jean, with that, how can I register new products after the renewal process is complete for this year? So the process is done for this year, but I got some new products. What's the process?
Barbara Jean, I'll let you take that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if the registration deadline is over, but you have new products, those products still need to be registered for the year in order to be distributed in the state of Kansas. So you would want to submit those new products into KDA, even though the registration period has ended.
And you can go to our website. It's basically the same as if you had, we get new products all year round. So.
Great, thank you. We've got about 2 minutes left in this session. We've had some super questions that have come in from participants. So thank you very much on that. One that we had submitted during registration, Ken, we've talked a little bit about the analysis on products with it, but how does a licensee create the guarantee on their pet treat labels? Either you or Barbara Jean on that. How do we work on that guarantee?
So I can start, and if I forget something, Barbara Jean can finish. So basically, to get the guarantee, you're going to have to send your pet treats off to a lab to be analyzed. And for pet treats, for the most part, you're only going to have protein, fat, and fiber guarantees on it. So it's not really that complicated for a pet treat. But yeah, you're going to have to send them out to get analyzed to build your guaranteed analysis for your label. So
the only thing I would add to that is if your pet treat, if you're going to claim high vitamin C or a different voluntary claim like that on your labeling, that would also need to be guaranteed as well.
Great. We had one final question come in when folks registered. Again, we really appreciate that. It helps us prepare for those questions for the session. So Debbie, we're going to direct this one to you, and it kind of reflects back to your presentation earlier. You talked about specialty pets. So what is a specialty pet, or who are they?
That's a good question. The term specialty pet is defined by AFCO, which is the Association of American Feed Control Officials, which I had mentioned in the webinar. It's any animal that is normally maintained in your household, but is not limited to, but it's like your rodents, your ornamental birds, your ornamental fish, reptiles, amphibians, ferrets, hedgehogs, marsupials, and rabbits, if they're not being raised for food or fur. So.
Well, great. Feed safety team, thank you very much for all the great information. Participants, thank you very much for logging in today. With that, Autumn, I'm going to send it back to you. There are no additional questions.
Great, thank you so much. Thanks to everyone for attending today's session. This session will be recorded, like I mentioned earlier, and it's going to be posted on our Food Protection Task Force section of our website, along with the registration for next month's webinar, which you may have seen the slide when you first joined. It's about grocery store food safety. So I'm not sure if the pet food industry people want to listen to grocery store food safety, but hey, here's your opportunity to do so. Look for a survey immediately following this webinar to assist us with the future planning of the outreach webinars. So thanks again for attending, everyone.